Before I go on with this video, I just want to say that in my opinion, no, Ross is not dead, and also I don't believe it's dying. So if you guys have been paying attention to Ross YouTube lately, you've probably seen that a lot of the big icons such as Trapeze, DigitFox, and especially Noah from YouTube have all officially quit Rules of Survival. Now, they all have their own unique videos on that, so I definitely recommend that you guys go check out their own videos and see what their own explanations are. But I have not quit Ross, and I am a Ross mobile player, and all the three guys that I just listed all play the PC version, which I think plays a big part in whether or not Ross is dying or not, because I believe Ross PC and Ross Mobile are two very different games with their own different mechanics, and just there's so many different things that go into them, and I'll explain more about that as I go on with the video. So the way that I actually decided to structure this video is I decided to talk about certain topics of Ross, like such as the community engagement, skins, bugs, features, competition, hackers, and then PC versus mobile, which I think is a very important topic when talking about whether or not Rules of Survival is truly dying. So the very first section I actually wanted to talk about was the optimization and the lag. For a mobile game, Ross is extremely well optimized, and I'm still amazed I can run such a good looking game on my own phone. And if you lag, honestly, it means one of three things. Either your battery's low, your device is hot, and I actually play with a very small fan pointed at my phone constantly just to make sure it stays cool. And then the third thing is you could be playing on a very outdated device. So Fortnite Mobile actually doesn't even run on devices before an iPhone 7, I believe. So at least Ross can actually play on lower end devices. And I just see a lot of people that complain about the lag and stuff like that. And when they're talking about lag, they're talking about device lag, which is like FPS lags and things like that, not just the MS. If you have MS lag, like which is your ping basically, which is the delay you have, it either means you're playing on a bad server. So say you live in Asia and you're playing on the North American server, obviously you're going to be lagging just because you live so far away from the servers. And then another thing is you probably just don't have good internet, and that's not the game's fault. It's not your fault either, but it's the fact that you're not in a good situation to be playing battle royale games basically, and basically no games will run well unless you just got really lucky and the server was next to you. But again, that's not the game's fault technically, it's just the fact that you're not in a good position. But yeah, so for the people that complain about the lag, I'm sorry to say it, but there's nothing the developers can really do. This is a high-end game. This is a PC quality game running on a phone. And if you have like what I have, which is an iPhone 8 Plus, and you keep your phone at least semi-cool, you can run it at max settings perfectly fine. Again, I never have problems. So it's more of an issue about the device you have. This game is very, very, very well optimized for it being a phone game. The next topic that I actually want to talk about is something I'm very focused on, because I do think it's a huge part of a video game success, and that is its community engagement. Now, for the community engagement, I think this is probably one of the most controversial topics about Ross. My opinion on it is that it's not amazing, but it's not really as bad as people always say. I feel as if there's some things that sometimes we don't really consider, and then there's vice versa. There's things that the company NetEase doesn't really understand about the community. I can't exactly explain what all those things are, but just remember that NetEase, which is the company that makes Ross, is a business. So they're really looking to make money more than anything, and that's not bad. This is a company, it's a business, it's a game that is free to play, but at the same time, that doesn't mean they're not trying to make money. They're trying to make money, so the things that they do are geared towards them making the most money possible. And again, this isn't bad, it's just how life works and how games work and how movies work. Everything like that is geared towards getting the most money possible, not just your entertainment. And it sucks to say it, but that's how life works. But yeah, so I think their community engagement certainly is lacking in some ways. With certain events, their prizes that they give are really laughable. I mean, Noah talked about it in his video, but I just think they really lack when they do community inspired events. Now, it's not to say they can't be successful if they're not doing community events. Like if you look at Fortnite is easily the most successful video game of all time. I mean, at this point, it's getting really close to that. And they don't host that many community events. Honestly, I would say Ross has hosted more community events. So I just think that Ross needs to give more effort into when they do it, and especially if the community events that they're holding are benefiting their game in some way. So like if they have like custom games or they have events where people design stuff for them, they should give more prizes when they're asking people to do stuff for them, if you know what I'm saying. So I just feel like if Fortnite was hosting stuff and they had Ninja commentate, I feel like Ninja would get a lot more than 400 diamonds, whatever Ross would give. So I certainly think Ross has the right mindset in community events. I think their planning is good. I just don't think they're rewarding people enough. And I'm not just talking about like content creators. I'm talking about the community as a whole. I think they need to find ways to get people to want to participate in things that aren't just normal ranked games. Going into the next topic, which relates to Ross and money, is skins. And I just want to say this really quickly. So NetEase has separate departments specifically for doing skin designs and other things. So it's not, so say we have Bill here, and Bill went to college and he became a skin designer, a weapon skin designer. Now obviously that I don't think you can like major in weapon skin designing, but like he became an artist and now he wants to pursue designing weapon skins. He flies down to China, he gets a job at NetEase, and now he's designing all kinds of cool weapon skins. So say Bill is super excited about his skin he just created, and he hops on the Rules of Survival Twitter to go see how people are reacting to it. And then he goes there and he sees all these people saying, this is stupid, you should be focusing on anti-cheat and all that. Now obviously Bill isn't going to be too happy about that because, or he's not going to be not too happy, he's just going to be kind of sad about that because he put up all this work in to make a skin or whatever, and obviously he got paid for it. But still, he's having people like that don't care or whatever, you know what I mean? So I think we're redirecting our anger in the wrong direction. When they're making skins, it doesn't mean they're not working on other things as well. I think people just kind of have the wrong mindset on this. I think they're so focused on getting fixes for the games, which obviously we should want. I just think that we shouldn't keep on saying, stop giving us skins and give us fixes. It's two separate things. So our next section is bugs. So this game obviously has bugs, and this is especially after new features are added. But they are usually patched up by the next update after the bug was introduced. And they're almost never game breaking, I would say. I can't really think of a lot of bugs that have really ruined the game. And if they have, again, they're normally fixed up within a couple days. While this is not a huge deal, I still think Ross should be more responsible when it comes to testing features before they actually implement them. Now, I can't exactly look into their design process, but I do think they should be more responsible with fixing bugs before they're actually implemented into the game. I know a lot of features are put out on the Chinese version prior, which really confuses me because I feel like people would be complaining on the Chinese version about like things that are messed up with new features, and they should be able to fix those bugs before it hits the North American server. So, like I said, I feel like we get mad about bugs a lot, which is I think that's totally fine, but most of the time they do fix them quickly, but it's still their responsibility to make sure those bugs never are implemented in the game. But even then, like I said, I don't think I ever see any game-breaking bugs that really affect the way I play the game or anything, so I don't think this is a huge deal for people to complain about. I just still think that NetEase should be doing something to try to avoid getting any kind of these bugs in the game. Okay, so now looking at the features in the game. So the features that they add to this game are almost always positive, in my opinion. I feel like everything they ever add in the game is to actually improve the general experience, except for the car sounds, because those sucked. But still, they fixed them by the next update, so it's not a huge deal. Also, when they add features, most of the time they're not very original. Now, this is fine from a player's side. I just imagine that it could get the company in possible legal trouble, which is problematic for the system's image. Now, this can be seen with the PUBG suing Ross situation, and honestly, I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know if it's been dropped and everyone forgot about it, but it did kind of damage the image of Ross. And I just hope that the company is able to avoid stuff like that. And if they do implement cool features, I just want them to kind of do it in their own unique twist so that the community can still enjoy it and it's a fun thing in the game. But at the same time, you're not going to have companies coming at you saying, yo, you copied our idea. But I do think a lot of the things they've added in this game are very cool. Like the death race mode is very cool. The leaning is cool. The leaning in first person is cool. All these little things that they add are very cool. I just think that some of them could possibly run the risk of getting them in trouble. So for the next section, I want to talk about competition. Now, this game is extremely competitive with esports, small tournaments, leaderboards, and a small community of players that actually put on their own events very frequently. And in my opinion, the competitiveness of the game is actually one of the game's best aspects. And I think it's something that NetEase should kind of invest in. I think they should put on more tournaments like they did the World Tournament, which was huge, by the way. I don't think they'll do something like that again unless the game was continuing to grow exponentially, because that was a massive ordeal. But things like the Live Me tournament that they did a while ago, I think they should do more things like that just to kind of get their name out on other platforms, and then also allow the players that are super dedicated to play for money or play for prizes or whatever they want to do. Something that really brings motivation for players to continue to grind and continue to get better at the game. Okay, so for one of my last sections, we're going to be talking about the hackers in the game. Now, I just want to get something straight. Hackers are nowhere even close as bad on mobile as they are on PC. Hackers have basically killed the PC community and game in itself. But when you compare that to mobile, mobile has almost no hackers. I've played easily 600, 700 hours of ROS on my phone, and I've only encountered 1 or 2 hackers in my time I've played. So it just goes to show, honestly, hackers are not a problem on mobile. I feel like there's just as many hackers on mobile ROS as there are on like Fortnite and PUBG and all that. Honestly, PUBG has a lot more hackers than ROS Mobile, in my opinion. So while they are a problem, yes, I feel like they're not a big enough problem for anyone to say, I'm going to quit the game. Because, again, if you enjoy the game, you should keep playing. If you don't enjoy the game, don't keep playing. I just feel like hackers is not something we should be basing our opinion of the game on, when they are so rare on mobile. Anyway, though, so my very last section is PC versus mobile. So this is going to include some new ideas as well as a quick summary of what I've talked about. So PC and mobile are 2 separate games completely. Different player base, different competition, and a different situation. ROS is a mobile game ported to PC. This is why it has so many problems on PC, and honestly it was destined for failure in my opinion. In contrast, Fortnite and PUBG are games that were ported from PC to mobile. So ROS is still very much alive on mobile. The only thing that may be killing it on mobile though is the relationship between PC influencers and the developers and the community. I just feel like there's so many people that see the PC players complaining about the game, and they rightfully should. That game sucks on PC. I hate to say it, but it sucks on PC. But I just feel like people keep seeing that and saying, that's the same game I play, so I'm not going to play it anymore. You know what I mean? ROS Mobile and ROS PC are different, and again, they have their different situations. So if you don't support the developers or their actions, I totally agree with you not playing anymore. I just don't want you to see people playing PC complaining about stuff and then assuming you're going to hop in a game and see them on ROS Mobile, like those issues. I personally love ROS still because it's its own unique pace for a battle royale. It's the best optimized game in my opinion. It runs extremely well on my phone and it looks very pretty. I also like the skins as well, which is kind of a factor into the game. I would still play even if there wasn't like great skins. I played back in the day when there was absolutely no skins at all and every person looked like a clone. But the game does look good. It runs good if you have a even decent phone. I can run this game pretty well on my iPhone 6s. And yeah, I can't say anything to change whether you enjoy the game or not. I just, again, don't want you guys to think it's dying and give up on it just because you've heard other people say it's bad or whatever. I want you guys to continue to play if you enjoy the game and make your own decisions on whether you should continue to play or not. I really just hope if you guys made it to the end of this video, you are able to think for yourself and make your own decisions based on the things you've heard and the things you've experienced. Don't just go based on ear. Go based on what you've experienced as well. And that's it for the video. I'm going to continue to play the game because I enjoy it, and I think the developers, hopefully if they see this video, need to work on some of the things I said, like community engagement and some other things as well. I just think the state of the game on mobile is still amazing. I think they have a bright future ahead of them. I think it's going to make it for quite a while, possibly be one of the best mobile games in the history of all mobile games, next to like Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. It's already done very well on YouTube as well, so there are people that really enjoy the game enough to actually like watch other people play it on YouTube, which says a lot about the actual quality of the game and the pace of the game. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a sub and a like below, only if you really enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it and you disagreed with my points, make sure to drop a dislike because I do want to hear you guys' opinions. So make sure to drop a dislike and comment down below what you thought I was wrong about, because I do again want to hear you guys' your voice and your opinions. And yeah, I'm out guys. Peace.